Good morning, everyone. Starting the weekly market update. I apologize because I should have done it yesterday, but I'm doing it today. The market continues to be complex, well, boring. Why? Because we have Bitcoin and Ethereum within an accumulative range that doesn't give us much information. It is mainly Bitcoin, a very slow asset. Yesterday, in fact, I even updated within the community a long position I had on Bitcoin. This position managed to give us a good profit. It went up 3%. However, we are within a range. However, yesterday I set the stop loss at break even and it came back and closed. And it didn't. It closed the position that I had opened on it, because we can observe, looking at the Bitcoin chart, we can observe that the price swept liquidity, but it didn't manage to sweep the liquidity from the bottom. It didn't manage to renew the bottom, nor did it manage to, right, renew the structure. It really continues to accumulate, right? So like we are in an accumulative environment, which makes it quite difficult for us to make a decision, right? For the short term, what do we have here, right? What would be interesting? We have a 15-minute order block. It's below the low of the previous week, right? Where our PWL is at 94,000. This 15-minute order block is in the region of 93,500 to 92,700. So it's a region of interest where we could keep an eye on. It's an interesting point of interest. We could have the mitigation of this point of interest to start an upward movement, because it would be after sweeping the low of the previous week. That's what I can observe here at the moment. After Bitcoin forms this accumulation and makes some liquidity captures and mitigates this first internal order block, what should the price have done? Coming to sweep the liquidity internal to the 4-hour range to mitigate our order block, our hot zone, right? However, this hasn't been done yet. Okay, this hasn't been done yet. So I believe, right, that the market still tends to continue a downward flow to sweep the low of the previous month, which is in the region of 89 and 270. So I still believe that the price might sweep this low. However, before that, it should sweep these times on land, right? Which was created here, mitigate an interesting region, okay? This mitigation, right, should be after the sweep of this liquidity. So what do we expect? Either we wait, right, to open positions in the order block, or we wait for a flow alignment from the 15-minute chart to the 1-hour chart. The flow alignment would be, right, the price forming a shock, right? In 15 minutes, it would be the break of the last low. The price would make the break. I stopped a bit to start and the downward movement is there. This would be a flow alignment on the 15-minute chart, but it has to be after the sweep of this liquidity, okay? In the short term, we could trade in this 15-minute order block. As I told you, it's a very risky setup because we are accumulating, so we don't have such a clear scenario, right? In Bitcoin and in Ethereum, Bitcoin, they are in a very large SMT. It's as if we should have an aligned movement, but they are misaligned, okay? It's a very misaligned movement, yet both are accumulating. I say it's misaligned because Ethereum has already managed to sweep the lows in the previous month. It has already managed to sweep an important liquidity, right? It mitigated the order block, which was broken initially, but the price moved back above it. It's trading above, right? So we have here the hint from the previous week, right? And after sweeping this internal liquidity of the 4-hour chart, it mitigated the OT zone, which had already been mitigated previously. However, the correct price action here would be to sweep this low from the previous week, mitigate this key level, or this order block again, start the upward movement to sweep this internal liquidity, which is our liquidity, more importantly, the liquidity of the previous week's low, the liquidity of the daily range. So we would sweep this liquidity. It would mitigate the 0.79 Fibonacci level, or even the BPR that we have on the daily chart, or even the order block to initiate. And a downward flow, okay, but I believe it won't be a downward flow. That will renew the bottom so easily. Okay, if there is this upward movement, could it